Breezers, how are you guys? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy December 1st, woohoo! And happy almost Friday. Foodie Beauty posted a video and it's been up for maybe a half hour, a little bit more. And I just couldn't bring myself to really want to watch it right away, if that made sense. But now the nosy part of me is like, okay, we better see what happens. So this video is titled Canadian Culture Shock in Kuwait. Those are her hashtags, discussing the cultural differences between Canada, where I'm from, and Kuwait with much respect. Thanks for watching. You never give anybody respect, so I don't know why you added that. And I have a question. That's what's going on with her face. That's not her face. Either it's filtered or she's wearing her hijab very tightly. I don't know, but that's not Foodie's face.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
Hello.
This feels weird because it's like a sit down and talk video, and I haven't made one of these in a little while, but I like doing them once in a while just to talk about certain subjects.
Okay.
So today's subject is going to be cultural differences. I get asked a lot to talk about cultural differences between here and Canada. If you're new here, I am Canadian. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario. Born and raised in Canada, and I recently married a Syrian man.
Fake married. Let's be honest here.
He is Syrian. He was born and raised in Kuwait. So I'm currently in Kuwait, and I get asked a lot.
Wait, is it just me or does she keep changing where he's from? I feel like we've heard of a few things, but I'm confused again.
If there's any kind of culture shock. So I'm sure you guys want to know my perception of the society, how I compare things with the Western world where I'm from, and what it's just been like for me on this journey so far. Honestly, there's not as much culture shock as I imagined because I did do some research before I came here out of respect. I always want to be respectful.
Who are you trying to fool? Out of respect, you always try to be respectful. You're there right now and you're not respecting their laws. You film anything you want. I know you think people are just gonna buy this story, and maybe people who've never seen your channel before might buy this, but they'll have to watch some reaction channels and do a little digging. You are never respectful to anybody or anything. You only think about yourself.
Of different cultures and their customs.
Oh,
so
yeah, right.
If I ever travel anywhere, it's going to be important for me to respect these differences. To me, differences, especially cultural, are not bad. It's just that they're differences and that's what they are. So I try to embrace everything and try to understand everything that I can. We don't always have to agree with things when things are different and we're not used to them, or things we don't understand, but it's still important to respect them. So I'm going to talk about some things, some misconceptions I believed before coming here.
Okay.
Some things that I found very different, and then some things that some information I got from the Kuwait visa website, which makes sense. It's where you can go and get an e-visa from a select list of countries. If your country's on there, you can apply online to get a tourist visa here. Kuwait is a lot more open to tourism than it was in the past, and compared to a lot of other Middle Eastern countries as well. But the information was on the website probably to prepare travelers from different parts of the world as to what you can expect when it comes to different cultural customs here. So I'll just share some of this information with you if you are thinking of coming here, because this place is beautiful, as you've seen from our vlogs. The beaches, everything.
It does look beautiful. It does look beautiful.
Just the food, the people are so friendly. It's amazing here. So yes, let's get into it.
Of course she brings up the food before the people. Of course.
That's kind of going to be all over the place in my style of doing a video. But anyway, one of the biggest things I was surprised about, I thought for some reason, probably like a lot of people, I was ignorant a lot when it came to thinking of the Middle East. I thought of like everyone in the Middle East just being like much poorer than Canada or the US. And it's just like a really small way of thinking, but that's how I thought. And I thought, oh, you know, like I'm Canadian, my money's gonna go a long way there. And it's actually like Kuwait is like the fifth richest country in the world, from what I read. But their currency is worth a lot more than Canadian money. So like, for example,
So how are you affording, both you and Sala, right now, and all your eating sprees and shopping and everything else?
1 KD equals like 4.4 Canadian dollars. So if you do the math, so yeah, when it comes to money, I just try not to really deal with it as much as I can because it really confuses me. And my money's not worth much here, so it's better to like save as much as I can just for when I'm in Canada because it's just worth more there. Another thing I won't do here is drive.
Okay.
I've already talked about that in my live streams ad nauseum, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I do not want to drive here. We'll just leave that up to Sala. So, all right, another thing I found different is the reversal of weather.
The reversal of
Climate
weather.
changes. Obviously, it's so hot here. Right now, it's winter months here. So it's actually in like the 20s, but the sun is really hot during the day sometimes. And at night, it's really nice out. It's like in the 20s. It's perfect weather. Not too humid most times. But in the summer, it's unbearable, up to like 60. I think I heard like 63 degrees Celsius. You could fry an egg on the ground. Most people, the weather is not comfortable in the summer here, to where people tend to live inside the malls, inside their homes with air conditioning. There's AC everywhere, cars, jobs. It's just,
Her screen is tripping me out right now. The lighting is going crazy.
wouldn't be able to. It would be like living in Canada in the winter months without a heater. It's very, very opposite that way. In Canada, a lot of the time it'll go down to like minus 30, 35 sometimes. You can't be outside for very long in that. You need to be in the heat. Here it's the reverse. It's so hot, you need to be in the AC. And because of that, certain things are different. Like camping in the winter here. We don't camp in the winter in Canada. We camp in the summer.
Right.
Things like corn, certain things that are in harvest, like corn is really big in the winter here, more at the end of summer in Canada. Mating season for animals, for cats, winter, and in Canada it's in the spring, beginning of summer. So just like little differences like that, I find very interesting. I will say, and again, this information, I say this with utmost respect.
Stop saying that, Foodie. You're not respectful to anybody or anything. Please stop being fake. You love to call me fake, but you're not respectful to anyone or anything. You aren't.
To Kuwaiti, Arab culture in general, it's very different. It's very different with values. It's at least Kuwait, very conservative values. Very conservative country. It's an Islamic country. 75% of people are Muslim. However, there are different religions here, and that remaining 25% of people are allowed to practice freely. You have seen in the grocery stores the Santa Claus, the Bath and Body Works had Christmas things. So they do have they have respect for people who want to practice different religions, though mostly they practice in their homes or things like that. It's predominantly Muslim. So because it's an Islamic country, they practice Ramadan here. They take it very seriously. And during the month of Ramadan, even as a foreigner, anyone who lives here, and again, if you're traveling here, please keep in mind if you're here during the month of Ramadan, a very religious month for Muslims, and there are laws that will put you in jail if you don't respect them, even as a foreigner. You have to be respectful of that. I fully understand that. I don't have a problem with that. Someday I would like to try Ramadan. You have to fast until sundown.
Oh, wait. Okay, it says fasting during Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It is to remind Muslims to be humble and thankful and to think of the less fortunate. So if you're traveling from another country, you still have to fast? Am I understanding that wrong? Please let me know.
So if you're seen in public chewing gum, drinking, eating, unless you have like a medical exemption or something like that, Mostly if you do, you still don't go in public. I think it's custom to just stay in the home, but you can be fined or arrested for
Wow.
not respecting those laws. Just like anywhere, if you don't respect the laws, you're gonna be in trouble, right? Some other things
Does
that
that apply to you, Foodie? Because you haven't been respecting the laws there. You know you haven't. You know you haven't.
are illegal in Islamic culture, things that are considered haram, such anti-Muslim. So things like pork products, alcohol, marijuana, drugs, anything like that. It's also haram for Muslims to have dogs as pets in their home. So I know that you guys, a lot of you in the Western world, really love pets. I have cats. I love my cats. But having cats in the home is fine.
You love one of your cats, Foodie. You love one of your cats, and that's sad.
It's not, it's not usual, just pets in general. In a lot of parts of the world, it's like that. But the Western world, we love our pets. But
Right.
here, dogs, if they're useful, you know, like hound dogs for hunting, police work, gathering sheep, things like that, that's permitted. But to have a dog in the home, is haram. So that is why
Wow.
you see them in the zoo with other animals. On the other hand, that's very different from where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't realize it until you realize Canada's very secular, which means that there's no government mixing with religion to govern the country. I will say
What will you say?
it's a lot more peaceful here in a lot of ways. I think that my personal belief is because of these laws in place, the big conservative placement of value, respect. I think a lot of the reasons that alcohol and drugs and things like
I
that
can't even concentrate because I'm just watching your hand wave around when you're trying to show off your ring. I know that's what you're trying to do.
are haram is because it's damaging to the mind and body and to the spirit. And if you're religious, you value God and you value yourself, you won't want to hurt yourself with substances. And that has been really meaningful in my journey to
Has
recovery as an
it?
addict.
Journey to recovery? When did you start? Recovery isn't just quitting the substance. Do you get that? Like, you have to work on yourself and see why it is you do what you do. There's so much more to just quitting a substance. Please don't say you're on a journey to recovery. Please don't. Because those of us who work really, really hard every day to not use or pick up, that's kind of a slap in the face. It is. Like, you're not working at it. You just had to quit for right now.
Which I do still struggle with, just mostly with food here and there. But when I was back at home and substances are readily available, you can overindulge on everything over there. And
So,
it's
what are you going to do when you go back, Foodie? Because everything's still going to be there and you're still going to be the same. What are you going to do when you get back?
it's a different vibe. Like, again, I've heard people say it's it's there's so many like big malls and things, so it's like flashy like Vegas but minus the debauchery. And I have to agree with that. You don't see people falling over drunk here, throwing up on the street, making jerks of themselves. And it's
Because you haven't got drunk yet. That's why they haven't seen it, because you haven't got drunk yet.
you just don't you just don't see it here. And it's a very peaceful vibe. You hear the prayer on the street, people just respecting everything. And I don't know, I find it very peaceful here in a way that I guess unless you live it, you might not really understand it. That's why I like traveling the world and being more interested in different cultures, because it opens your mind to a lot of things that you never would think about living in the same geographical location for your whole life, you know? And I will say,
What will you
I
say?
do see a lot of comments. People are in disbelief with a past like my own, coming from such an open place. With a past like mine.
You don't have a past. You're you're still living that way. There's no past, Foodie. Just because it happened 2.5 seconds ago, that's not necessarily your past.
How can we make it work? And I have to say, Saul has been nothing but just like so open to, he sees the changes in me. He's supportive of.
I'm going to stop you right there. He sees the changes. Does he know you dox someone's kid on your community posts? Does he know you age shame and weight shame people? Does he know that you make community post after community post raging and then deleting it hoping he won't see it? You haven't changed, Foodie. I know you think you have, but I've been saying if anything you've gotten worse and you've just put a mask on.
And he actually helps. Like I've said many times, being with someone who helps you on this healing process, recognizes that you have a good heart and a willingness to change and respect yourself more, and it's just made such a difference in this journey. I'm not perfect and I'm still struggling sometimes.
Let's see, it says across the screen, everyone has issues to work through, and Allah, God, sees these efforts. You have to make an effort, Foodie. You haven't changed. I know you're trying so hard to convince people, and you're really, really saying all this for those new subscribers that might be just watching, but come on.
Change is not linear and it's not overnight. If everyone's patient with me, I think I'm on the right track. I feel it. One thing, speaking of acceptance and friendliness and big hearts, is how welcoming people are. One of the cultural customs is hospitality. People are so nice, and even people here who have hardly anything, or just even if they're struggling, or even if, and no matter what walk of life or financial situation they have, if you are welcomed into someone's home, they will treat you like royalty. They will share their best food with you. They will just be so friendly and welcoming. And it's just, I mean, like you've seen on my live stream, neighbors will bring us like olives at midnight, or just anytime they cook, they think of you, they bring you food. And so I've kind of learned.
So how is that helping you with your weight loss journey that you say you're on? I'm wondering how that helps. And to be honest, a few times I've wondered if you ordered DoorDash there for yourself. I honestly have wondered that.
Okay, you know what? I like this, and I'm going to share too. So whenever somebody brings us something and the dish is empty, now we fill it with something and give it back. So it's a really, they rely on this kind of community of friendliness to help each other. That being said, I did learn that it's custom, if somebody offers you something in their home, try not to turn it down, because usually they're offering you something they're proud of making or something. Like we went to someone's home and they offered, I wasn't hungry and I was kind of full because they made us like some food, and we just had dinner, but they offered me like on top of that like a fresh banana smoothie, and I was like, with some fresh bananas they just got, and I said no. No thank you. And they kind of looked at me like, you know, like didn't really understand, and then they offered me again later, so I did say yes that time, and it was delicious. But also, if you're eating and you don't want to eat anymore, be sure to leave a bit of food on your plate, because they'll just keep filling your plate with food. Like, people really like to feed people here and be nice, and it's like a heartwarming feeling I can't explain. It's such a peaceful culture, peaceful religion. The people are so amazing. And yes, it seems conservative probably to people in the Western world, but as long as you're respectful, there should be no problem. Same thing if you want, like if you're having coffee, it's custom like after meal.
Is this video for us or you? I feel like you're trying to explain things away, like why you're always eating so much, it's because you can't turn down food, or I don't know. Is this video for us or for you?
To have some tea or Arabic coffee with some like salty seeds, like sunflower seeds or nuts. But if you don't like, this is more for men who do this. Men, if you're done drinking.
Oh wait, sorry. It says across the screen, I just tell Salo directly that I'm done.
You have to shake your glass because people will just keep filling it. One thing I see a lot is talk about the differences between men and women. So even on the website, the visa website, it does say Kuwait, like a lot of Islamic countries, are predominantly patriarchal, meaning they're male dominated. But I find that Kuwait is a lot more open compared to some countries. Like women can drive and things like that now. they're in the workforce with equal pay. There are certain things that women and men do separate, and in my vlog that's all that I meant, but I did edit up.
Hold on, it says check out the camping vlog on our couples channel, Sala and Chantal.
That part because I felt like I wasn't explaining it properly. First of all, men and women, it's custom that they socialize separately, usually, especially in public. In the home, it's different. In the home, you can do whatever you want. You can dress however you want. You know, you're married, you're together, it's your private home. But in public, there's certain customs. And in my video, I just meant we were just doing things separately. Actually,
okay, this video is just so she can address things and explain things away. That's what I've come to the conclusion of.
Women can smoke shisha if they want to. It's a personal choice. What I'm wearing is a personal choice. Women, I would say there are women, mostly from other cultures.
You're doing it for a man. A man.
There's a large Indian and Filipino population here. A lot of them don't cover because they're not Arab or they're not Muslim. And the ones who are, though, I usually see them always in hijab, and a lot of women I've seen in niqab as well. So back to the men and women doing separate things. There's actually a custom called Diawania. I had to practice that a few times, so that's maybe why there's a jump cut there. Diawania is gathering of men at where they socialize, you know, at cafes, smoke shisha together, have drinks, non-alcoholic, and just socialize together. Again, it's very conservative that way, which is why we also deleted some things that, you know, I'm learning. So if I do something that's a little bit out of the norm or a little questionable, it's just out of ignorance or just forgetting or...
No, it's because you just don't care. Where is any honesty in this?
Not aware at all. I mean, you can prepare and research all you want, but... you know, experience is the
And why doesn't your fake husband say, hey, we can't film this, hey, we can't say that, hey, we can't do this? Shouldn't he look out for you?
This teacher, right? So I do edit things out of respect or just to avoid problems in the future. But public displays...
It's not out of respect, it's so you can avoid problems.
Affection are very big no-no. Even with the most loving married people, all men and women do not... do that in public here with each other. If you do come here, even though you don't have to technically cover your head, out of respect, they do expect you to dress conservatively as a woman. So covering your shoulders, covering at least, you know, down to your ankles. I usually go out always in an abaya, sometimes niqab. I've been sometimes wearing that, but always in hijab.
We saw it on Instagram. We saw it on Instagram.
The niqab, actually, it's comes to here, and the air actually flows under it. It's not covered like a mask, so it's not too bad, and it just goes under this with an elastic, so it's actually not that uncomfortable. It's not really uncomfortable, actually, and I'm kind of used to this. Sometimes it is hot. You know, I'm overweight and I'm fully covered. So until, you know, it took some getting used to, but I am getting a lot more used to it. And being here in the winter is so much better from what I'm told.
I was going to say, how do you know?
I could stand a summer here, but yeah. All right. So that's about it for this video.
Okay.
I think I've said everything I want to say. I will be doing a lot more videos and a lot more videos talking about my experiences. I do have a weight loss video coming up. That will just mostly be me updating you on that topic in my life, because it is a big thing in my life. And yeah, I'll just be coming out with that video at some point, so stay tuned. Also, we are going to be doing more videos on the couples channel. So I will also be doing some live streams while Sala's at work, so stay tuned for those as well.
He doesn't work. Why are you pretending? I think he leaves her at night. Does anybody else think that?
I really appreciate you guys who are still here. I know that every change I go through in my life, good or bad, I lose people along the way, and that's a lesson for me. It really teaches me who my real friends and supporters are, and I don't say that to try to shame people,
Yes, you
but it's
do.
just a fact that people come and go in life, and people will, your real.
Okay, you're saying that, but also you get mad at your VIBs if they can't make a live stream. Oh my gosh, this thumbnail. All right, you guys, I think there's only a few seconds longer of
friends
this.
will be there through no matter what. So yes, anyways, lots of lessons, but I'll save those for another video. All right, guys, I've blabbed enough here.
Yeah, you have.
And again, very beautiful country in closing, and I'm very glad that I'm here and experiencing it with Sala. So, and you guys along on the journey. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, masalama.
So this was to save her butt or cover her butt. That's what I think. All right, you guys, let's talk about this down in the comment section. I hope you're having a great day, great evening, wherever you are, and I will see you so soon. Bye, you guys.